If I had to lose a mind. Welcome to the show. If I hadn't touched feeling, I would lose my soul the way I do. And I don't have to think, I only have to do it. Results are always perfect, but that's old news. Would you like to hear my voice sprinkled with emotion? Then it at your birth, I can't see the end of me. My own expense, I cannot see. Formulate infinity, stored deep inside of me. Formulate infinity, stored deep inside of me. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Man on Fire Radio. The name of the show when it's not on Saturdays, basically. All right, what are we going to talk about tonight? What are we going to talk about tonight? Greetings, anyone in the chat. Lorenzo Sleestack. Greetings, anyone who comes along from now and in between to the end. And anyone on the replay. Welcome to the motherfucking show. Yeah, I hear it's getting real bad up there in Canada. My God. Yeah, as an American, seeing what's going on up in Canada is just it's so odious on so many levels. It's just like oh my God, it's just so appalling, really. You can't believe that they would actually go there. And each time you think that they've gone too far, boom, they jump the shark again. Like I thought we were reaching like Ebenezer Scrooge levels of villainy last week when I talked about how they were taking away the goddamn firewood from them. Yeah, it's gotten way worse now, shit, just in 1 week's time. Yeah, they're threatening to kill the goddamn dogs of the truckers. I'm not fucking kidding you. They're going to take away the truckers' dogs and kill them. They threaten them with the lives of their fucking animals. A lot of people look at their animals like family, you know. I don't have friends. I have family, as Vin Diesel would say. But yeah, you talk about fucking radicalizing people, shit. Yeah, kill somebody's dog. This is about the surest fucking way to radicalize them. My God. You have a whole nation of John Wicks on your fucking hand. Yeah. They fucking they fucked up. Trying to kill a man's dog. Yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg though. Yeah, I guess old cuck boy is just like channeled his inner fucking Fidel and just unleashed the Emergencies Act. And now it's like he's he's like basically a dictator, Justin Trudeau. Yeah, it's bad. Oh Lord of mercy. Yeah, anybody doesn't know what this Emergencies Act is? It basically well, they can go in there and take your fucking bank account, just take your money. Fucking I actually heard a story about a dude. He got his bank accounts taken, but he wasn't one of the truckers. He just had the same name as them, I guess. It's like, Jesus Christ. This coming off the heels of their GoFundMe being taken away from them. Yeah. There's a little lesson there for people when you put your money and you know, those types of as soon as it's no longer paper and it's like out there in the digitized form, anything can happen to it. Anything. Yeah, say you fucking get a case of mistaken identity like that one dude, and like that, boom, your fucking life savings gone. Yeah, these fuckers aren't fucking around. Yeah, Trudeau, he fucking deployed the goddamn the police force and the military. It looked like a militarized police force. Might be some sort of Blackwater mercenary types working too. Who knows? But yeah, he's fucking weaponized the goddamn civil servants against the citizens using the LRAD weaponry. Fuck, I predicted this last week. I said they were going to use those sonic frequency weapons on them. And I guess people are reporting that they're using that shit on them. God, as an American, looking at that kind of shit, it's just so just odious and just like, oh, gross. How could you people allow this? And it's like, how can they get away with this? How? And as an American, I'm worried because the left here in America is watching what's going on in Canada, and they just, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, rubbing their hands together, looking at all that fucking shit. Hell, Antifa has come out in solidarity with the Ottawa Police Department. The same Ottawa Police Department who fucking pulling guns on people, arresting them, getting a whole bunch of fucking horses and running people down and shit. Actually running people down with horses in the streets. Yeah, and Antifa's cheering that shit on. The same people that fucking are all about defunding the police and shit. Yeah, speaking of Antifa, I guess they just recently, I think it was here today or yesterday or something like that, there was a shooting in Portland. Yeah, Antifa fucking shot some people up in Portland. And you're not going to hear about that shit, obviously. No. Yeah, these people, they're not fucking around. And then it comes to the point where you have to ask yourself, what are you willing to die for? A lot of people never really ask themselves that question. What are you willing to die for? Yeah, I fucking dare anybody just go take a piece of paper and write down the things you are willing to die for. Would you be willing to die for your freedom? Would you die for freedom? Ask yourself that. Because there may come a day when it actually comes to that. Ask yourself, what would you die for? It's the same as what you would live for. Freedom. But what would you do without freedom? As an American, seeing the Canadian people's freedoms being taken in such ways is just by this rapacious little hobgoblin of a man. Just, oh my God. It's just so odious. And I thought Barack Hussein Obama and old poopy pants Joe Biden was bad. My God. Yeah, Trudeau just channeling his inner Fidel. Let the Castro flow through you. Yep. The Canadian people, they have to ask themselves, would you die for your freedom? Yeah, fucking Canada. Somebody's gonna have to step up and become a hero, so to speak. Rally the people. Provide a beacon of hope. Somebody in Canada needs to become the metaphorical William Wallace of his time. You know, as I say that, I think somebody has stepped up and taken that mantle. Believe it or not. Yes, a man has risen through the ashes of all this as somewhat of a hero. A man with a checkered past, so to speak. This man has risked everything, life and limb, being on the front lines, reporting on this this trucker protest. These truckers not wanting these goddamn fucking nasty fucking shits being pumped into them. This one man risked it all, lost his job even. Yes, there is one man who has decided to answer the call and become the metaphorical William Wallace of Canada. Yes. We know him as Ro fucking Kabir. Yes, Ro Kabir, the leader of War Campaign India. He has decided to step up and become the metaphorical William Wallace of his time. The William Wallace of Canada. Oh boy. If anytime Ro Kabir becomes the William Wallace of your country, you know you're up the creek, not without a paddle, but without a fucking boat. Let's put it that way. Yeah. But I guess since old Cuckboy is cracked down, all the truckers are being dispersed. They got fucking tow truck drivers driving in there and pulling the trucks out now. And these tow truck drivers are wearing these like scary looking masks and shit. I mean, we're talking about some shit straight out of fucking Clown World. Yep. Yeah, Ro Kabir, leader of War Campaign India, has become the William Wallace of Canada. Yep. Yeah, the only question is, anybody doesn't know who Ro Kabir is, what I'm talking about. He's there's this group of they're kind of an online fan club of Ethan Van Sciver's called the War Campaign. They were part of this independent comic book underground called Comicsgate. But anyway, they had a falling out with EVS, Ethan Van Sciver. That's his EVS, you know. But anyway, yeah, they called him Caesar. Like their whole LARP was ancient Rome, you know. It is partly the reason why I still rock the fucking avatar of the Undead Centurion, because I was trolling them, like using their own LARP against them. To this day, I still use their LARP against them. I was going to rebrand at some point, but I was like, putting it on the back burner. But yeah, the War Campaign eventually had a falling out with their dear leader. They called him Caesar. But they got exiled and excommunicated from Comicsgate, and they had somewhat of a stained reputation ever since. But since this Canadian trucker protest has popped off, War Campaign has, well, they've begun a redemption arc. I'll be damned, but they've begun a redemption arc. Yeah, this is just a microcosm of humanity as a whole. That no matter how far one falls, that if you truly want to attain it, you too can get a redemption arc. And War Campaign is grasping it. Yeah, they only had a few thousand subs on their channel. Now I think they're north of 50,000 subs now. One of their videos had like a fucking half a million views, something like that. But they've become way more influential than many people in the Comicsgate sphere that they used to come from. Yep. Let that be a lesson. No matter how far you fall in life, anybody can be redeemed if you truly want to. But you have to attain it. You have to grasp at it. You have to want to attain your redemption arc. Poor Ro lost his fucking job. They may take my job, but they will never take our freedom. Oh, wait. There goes my bank account. Like, oh, sorry, Roro. Oh, Fidel's bastard son did take your freedom. Yep. You Canadians have to ask yourselves, would you die for your freedom? Would you die for your freedom? Because it might have to come to that. Yeah, Trudeau, when he enacted this Emergencies Act, it was, like I said, it gave him full dictatorial powers. He's taking people's bank accounts. People are going to be thrown in jail. The Ottawa police chief has gone on the record saying this isn't the end of this. Like, they're going to hunt people down and find who they are, who these protesters were, and they're going to fucking throw them in jail. They're going to ruin them. The same shit that those fucking leftists did to those fucking idiot, stupid boomers and Q-tards on January 6th. That same shit is going to be applied to all of those Canadian trucker protesters. So it's like, fuck, if you were going to get fucked in the ass anyway, why did you give up protesting? Fuck. Goddamn. Well, if Ro Kabir is your William Wallace, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, this is a life lesson for many, many people. Seeing what happened to the people of Canada, their money, the way it was taken out of banks. I mean, this, like I said, I've said this before on previous channels and shows. There's a reason why I don't have a bank account, and I don't keep money in a bank account, and I don't keep money digitized or whatever. And as soon as I get paper cash, I try to convert it into something solid, like bullets, fucking guns, land, that kind of shit. Because at the end of the day, what they're trying to do is train you to worship inanimate nothingness, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, all this bullshit. And it's all supposed to wean you until the eventual day when it's like, you're on the fucking social credit score and paper money's completely done away with. And you're basically a slave at that point. You will own nothing and you will be happy. As Klaus Schwab says in his Great Reset book. Yeah, Klaus Schwab, the leader of the WEF, the World Economic Forum, the disciple of Henry Kissinger. You really didn't think Henry Kissinger was going to leave this earth without having some sort of an heir, didn't you? Yep. Klaus Schwab, he's the Darth Sidious to Kissinger's Plagius. That's what he is. That's what's going on. Make no mistake. Crab Radio says that war campaigns at 38,000 subs now. Well, I might have jumped the gun a little bit there. Vicky verse in the chat. Welcome. Oh yeah, that's some good tea. Booyah. Yeah, but seeing as how they took the GoFundMe money from the truckers and they're just liquidating people's bank accounts at will, it's a life lesson for people. Just take a good look at that and ask yourselves, could that happen to me? And if so, you need to take steps to make sure that it doesn't. Yep. There's a lot of Canadians I hear are actually starting to pull their money out of the banks. That'll be funny if there was some sort of a run on the banks because of all this fucking shit. Trudeau fucking doing this fucking stupid nonsense. All of a sudden, all the Canadians freak out, start pulling their money out of the banks. But then again, I hear the Canadians, they can only pull out certain amounts of money. I think it was $500 or $1,000 every day via for the ATM or something like that. I hear it's even worse in Australia. Yeah, I heard in Australia you can only have like $10,000 cash on you at a time, and you can only take out like $500 at a time out of an ATM. It's like, what? How's a man supposed to operate? My God. How's a man supposed to fucking conduct a high-dollar drug deal? Fuck. That don't make no sense. Well, it's a nation full of criminals. I'm sure they have a real thriving drug trade out there. Liam Gray can attest to that. He grew up in that atmosphere and environment, after all. But yeah, people need to understand that what they're doing over there in China with their social credit scores and all that bullshit, that's the blueprint for how they want all of these Western nations to be. Yep. Eventually, they want to do away with paper cash altogether and just put you on a fucking social credit score. That's what they're going to do. No, Risey Lee says the bank lets you take out 1,000 at a time. I must have been mistaken. Yeah, but still, that's a small amount. But then again, I haven't dealt with banks in so long. Like back in when I used to deal with banks, you could fuck around with large sums of money and it was like nothing. There's a reason why I live out in the middle of nowhere, off grid, and I live like a beast, basically. I saw all this shit coming. I see shit coming before it comes. Before I go to war, I count my ones. You can read between the lines of what I'm fucking saying. Yeah, I saw all this shit coming. But if the people stand up and realize what the fuck's going on and band together, then there's nothing they could do to stop us. The problem is we're all balkanized and we don't see the bigger picture. You see, all of these Western nations, the English-speaking countries, like we all need to band together, like create some sort of an alliance of English-speaking peoples. Hell, why even limit it to English-speaking peoples? Just bring anybody into the fold who has like predominantly white skin. Bring Russia into the fold too. And then turn this new alliance against the fucking New World Order. That's what I'm thinking. Because what's going on is the fucking banks, they're printing out all of this fucking money. And a lot of this money, they're giving it to two companies. And these two companies, they're the majority shareholder of almost every fucking major industry there is. You could look this up. The names of these two companies, BlackRock and Vanguard. You will never know who the majority shareholders are of these companies. Well, actually, here's the kicker. You find out who the majority shareholder of BlackRock is, and it turns out it's Vanguard. So whoever is the majority shareholder of this company called Vanguard, that's the fucking head of it. And I'll bet big money it's probably Klaus Schwab himself or one of his surrogates or subordinates or friends. Yeah, but what they're doing is they're printing out trillions of dollars and they're giving it to these two companies because they also own the banks. And what they're doing is they're trickling these funds down to all of their surrogate companies that they're the majority shareholders on. And this is what's called ESG funds. And what they're doing is they're subsidizing wokeness. They're spreading wokeness like a cancer and a disease through Western civilization. Unless we wake up and realize what the fuck's going on, they're going to divide and conquer us. That's what's going to do. That's what they're going to do. We're just going to wake up one day, and what's ultimately going to happen is China is going to betray the globalists, and China wins. We wake up one day and find out, boom, China is our landlords. Unless we wake up, band together, and ensure that it doesn't happen. Not just Canada, but all of us need to ask ourselves, would we die for our freedom? Well, here in America, what little freedom we have left, fucking, we need to fight for that shit. Because the last thing we want to do is end up like Australia, where they gave up all their guns and now they're being thrown in fucking into camps and shit. It's time to put aside the petty differences, look at the big picture, and band together for the greater good. Jack Stafford in the chat, welcome. Ahoy, my ninja. Oh, I'll get a drink there. Feeling a bit parched. Yep. Vanguard and BlackRock, the majority shareholders of almost every fucking major industry there is. And they're the ones that are getting all of this money from the banks that they're printing out, that they're trickling down for the environmental social governance funds. Yep. Wokeness. It's a disease of the soul, much like feminism. We are entering into a period of time known as the Wokening. Yes. We are coming out of a period of time known as the Cuckening. Yeah, the Cuckening happened probably about a decade back when cucking started to get normalized. But the Cuckening, it's starting to get phased out, and now we're into the Wokening. The Cuckening is over. The Wokening has just begun. Yep, it's only a matter of time till the Fuckening comes. Oh boy, you don't want to be around for that one. Oh, Lord of mercy. Yeah, the bottom line is the Canadian people, they gotta fucking hold the line. Because if they don't, the American left, like I said, they're taking notes and they're gonna fucking copy exactly what old fucking shitfuck did. Fidel's bastard son. You just wait. Old Poopy Pants, him and all of the fucking alphabet agencies and all of their surrogates, they're gonna fucking enact the same shit. The only question is, if Canada falls and they can't hold the line, then will the American people fall? That's the question. All the years of just fucking terrible clown world, woke leftist social engineering, has that done enough to completely break the American people to where they're willing to give up their freedoms? We will soon find out. We will soon find out. Yeah, I guess Democrats here in America, they're starting to sweat it with this election coming up. I guess there's over 30 Democrats who are going to be retiring, not seeking re-election. They see the writing on the wall, I guess. Unless, of course, they do something beforehand, like kind of what Trudeau did, manufacture some sort of a crisis to give old poopy pants his excuse to enact martial law. That way they can keep people home and ensure they have the mail-in ballots again. Yeah. Said this before. As long as those Dominion voting machines are around, and as long as people have the mail-in ballots, it's well, like Debo when he sees that bicycle, he's like, "That's mine. I'm taking it." Just take it. Like they'll see the writing on the wall, all of a sudden, fucking vans full of pallets of fucking votes for Democrats will come driving in at 3 a.m. They'll get their hackers all of a sudden go in there, fucking flip the algorithms in the voting machine software, and like that, hundreds of thousands of votes will go to the Democrat. This is how these fucking people operate. My God. Yeah, that's what's going to happen in the midterms. You watch. Because if it's allowed to play out naturally, like people are pissed at these Democrats. They're going to get swept out of power, and the Republicans are going to take the House and the Senate. If it's allowed to play out naturally, we'll see. We'll see. But Republicans are so dickless, cucked, and weak. I don't think it even fucking matters. Even if they did take back the House and Senate, I really don't think it matters. Yeah, like I said this before, the difference between Democrats and Republicans here in America. Democrats are like Emperor Palpatine. Yeah. Yes, let the hate flow through you. Republicans are like Goofy. Gee, folks. Goofy loses that fight every fucking time. If he wins any of those battles, it's by sheer happenstance, coincidence, and luck. Or if Palpatine lets him win. Yeah, seeing what's happening in Canada is just sickening. Your average American. Your average American's it's just so like chokingly gross seeing the horses trample all those fucking people and shit. Oh, that reminds me, I hear that they're going to be making a sequel to Seabiscuit. Yep. Going to be starring the Ottawa Police Department. Yep. The sequel to Seabiscuit. You actually see that shit? Them trampling those people with the horses? My God, they have no shame. The left has no shame. Yeah, the thing that disappoints me the most about all of this is seeing the police and the military bend the knee and actually follow the orders and go after the citizens the way they did. It kind of breaks my heart because I've said this before, like to people, and it would infuriate me to no end when I would tell people about what these fuckers are going to do to us, what their plans are. And the people, without fail, they would always just say the same thing to me. Oh, Big Daddy, you're so full of shit. The police and the military would never turn on the citizens. Cox! Cox! History, unfortunately, has always proven otherwise. Yep. And look at just what happened in Canada. The police and the military, fucking, yep. They may hate themselves afterwards. They may become alcoholics. Some of them may kill themselves. Some of them may take it out on their wives and children. They'll hate themselves in the end, but they'll follow the orders. They always do. Yep. All these fucking worthless cucks. Yeah, I used to be such a pro-military dude, and then after seeing what happened after the left pulled off their coup d'etat, And then they weaponize the military, and seeing all the military people standing around guarding the fucking White House and shit from the people after they fucking enacted a coup d'etat. Like, I lost all respect for the military after that. It just broke my heart on so many levels. And it isn't any wonder why the military has like a fucking 40% approval rating when it was down from like 80% from like several years ago when Trump was still in office. Like, I know I wasn't the only person that fucking lost all faith in the military that day. Seeing them fucking lined up, weapons, guarding the fucking Capitol from what? Just a fucking psychological operation. You took an oath to defend this country and its people from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. God, it breaks my heart. But what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Like I said, they'll hate themselves, but they'll follow the orders. They always do. History has always proven that they do. That's why we need to understand the nature of what is going on, and that our very freedom is at stake, and we need to band together to stop this bullshit. That's what we need to do. Because if we don't, they're going to put their jack boots on our throats. End up putting us on a social credit score, take away our private property, take away all of our firearms, take away our freedoms, civil liberties, guns, freedom, money, all like that. Gone. Yep. Unless we band together. Stand up and not allow it to happen. It's the only way. Yep, there's this massive evil tree taking root in the planet, spreading its seeds of evil all over the place. But you want to know what I say? If you are the big tree, I am the small axe, sharpened to cut you down. Well, sharp, ready to cut you down. Yep, we all need to think about that mentality. We can all be that small axe, chopping away at that big tree. Because if we all become that small axe, well, that big tree stands no fucking chance. Oh, yeah. Oh, damn, that's good tea. Yeah, that trucker protest up there in Canada, that was their metaphorical burning of the Reichstag moment. That was their metaphorical January 6th moment. That gave old cuckboy his chance to channel his inner Fidel. Emergencies Act, boom, like that. He's basically become a dictator. And now the Canadian people are fucked. Those truckers, they're all being dispersed. Their fucking trucks are being towed away. And all the people that took part in the fucking protests are going to be eventually found and arrested. All their money taken. Yep. Like, what can the Canadians do? All of a sudden, like, whoosh, flip the switch and reenact the goddamn protests? Realize, oh, fuck, we fucked up. Like, we should never stop protesting. Fuck, they're going to just keep doing it. Like, goddamn. If the Canadians would have just kept doing it, like, what are they going to do? Like, arrest everybody? Like, come on. Arrest every fucking citizen? If every fucking citizen took to the streets, what are they going to do? Arrest everybody? They can't. Yeah, if every last Canadian citizen saw the evil and the tyranny going on and decided to say no and took to the streets, there'd be nothing to stop them. You can't arrest every fucking Canadian citizen. No, but many of them stay home. Many of them are on the side of wanting to pump poisons into your bloodstream. But yeah, what can you do? Divide and conquer. It's the strategy old as time. Yep. God damn. So disappointed in the military. Where is our Sterling Hayden? You know, where is our metaphorical fucking Doctor Strangelove moment where we got the rogue general that sees what's going on? He's like, fuck this. Like, I'm not going to fucking go down in history as a goddamn traitor to this country. I took an oath to defend this country against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. So he takes his fucking men and, like, it arrests all the fucking members of Congress, Senate, fucking launches a fucking thermonuclear strike against CIA headquarters at Langley, and cuts the head off the snake, and conducts a fucking inquisition of sorts. A full-on fucking inquisition. Interrogate them all. And interrogate them military style. Find out the truth. Figure out what the fuck's going on. Then you figure out who these guys are that own these companies, Vanguard and BlackRock. Figure out who these people are and go pay them a little 3 a.m. visit, if you know what I mean. Go full Machiavelli on them. Where is our Sterling Hayden when we need him? Yeah, military's gone full woke. That's what happened. They saw that the potential for the U.S. military to stop all this was too great. So they needed to neuter the U.S. military by making it woke. Yep. We got furries in the fucking military now. Furries! Furries in the motherfucking military, working army intelligence, launching drone strikes against poor innocent brown people. And what can you do? Fuck, what can you do? Yep. There's an old saying. You can have a military capable of winning wars, or you can have a woke military. But you cannot have both. Yep. You can have a military that can win wars, or you can have a woke military, but you cannot have both. That's the saying. Big Daddy's saying. Yep. Some people go into the military just for the sole purposes of having the taxpayers pay to get their fucking genitals chopped off. No fucking joke. Oy vey. Oy vey. What can you do? Whisper words of wisdom and let it be, I guess. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Yep. Nothing else you can do. Well, you could take up the pen against them, too. Start up a live stream, speak truth to wokeness. There are many ways to fight against them. Like I said, I am the small axe, sharpened to cut you down. This is the only way. Band together, sharpen ourselves, become metaphorical small axes. Because if we don't, like I said, we're going to wake up one day, find out China is our landlords. Because these stupid WEF people, World Economic Forum, money clan types, they think that they're going to win the game in the end, but they're not. China is playing them like a fucking fiddle. They don't understand it. I mean, hell, look, the Chinese social credit score. That's what the fucking blueprint is. Yeah, we owe them how many trillions of dollars? They decided to just call in that debt one day. What then? Yep. The Western nations of the world need to band together and stop this shit from happening. Because if we don't, like I said, jack boots on our throats. Literally and figuratively. Hell, you might even get trampled by a fucking horse. Yep, shooting the sequel to Seabiscuit, starring the Ottawa Police Department. Oh, that tea is good. Yeah, these people aren't fucking around. Yeah, I'm not fucking around either. Yeah, we've about almost reached the halfway point. Maybe we'll take a little break. Now, if anybody does want to come on, chop it up, the Streamyard's link is in the description. And if you're in the live chat, feel free to interact with the show, because sometimes I can take just one comment from the fucking chat and I can spin that into a 10, 20-minute yarn or more. You never know. Yeah, we'll take a little break here. We put on a little elevator music for you guys. Little Final Fantasy theme. Halfway point. 2-minute break, guys. We'll be right back. Ugh. Grab a sandwich. Get a smoke. Stretch your legs. That's what I'm doing. I gotta stretch my legs. All right, all right, all right. And we're back. Yep. And we're back. All right, where we gonna take a show now? And Jack Stafford says, after January 6th, if USA were a realm, the Queen could have said that the government no longer represents the will of the people and called for new elections in 30 days. Done it many times. Yeah, if I was Trump, what I would have done is those handful of states where there was obvious malfeasance, I would have gone in there, had the military fucking take over and do redo elections. Like we're gonna redo the elections, and then you got to come in person and show a fucking ID. Like had you done that with those handful of disputed states, it would have been over. Nope, total cuck. And Jack Stafford says politicians are too transitory and obligated to self. Democratic monarchies provide the best of both. Things get out of control. There is a person with centuries of authority to steer the ship. Yeah, one of the problems with two-party systems is they will always be corrupted by outside forces, and the political parties will always end up looking out for their own self-interests, creating their own little fiefdoms, and not looking out for the greater whole of the country, you know. And thus, a two-party democracy will always fail in the end. Yeah, I've said this before. Like I've boiled it down to the lowest common denominator with most things when I really think about it. And the best form of government is to have all power concentrated into the hands of a single responsible individual. Only then can a state truly achieve its maximum potential in life, because then the full resources of the state are being put forward to something, you know. You don't have these little warring factions bickering for their own piece of the pie, so to speak. You look at the Romans, the time of Caesar, like his conquest of Gaul, and subsequently coming back, proclaiming himself emperor. Yeah, it took a long time to conquer Gaul, the nation. It was the Celtics, is what it was, and the way Caesar conquered them, divide and conquer. You see, the Gauls, the Celts, they had these individual little tribes that warred amongst themselves. And what Caesar did was he picked off each tribe one at a time and had the Celts all banded together as one massive army. Boom, they could have fucking destroyed Caesar and his legions, then marched on Rome. Nope. Employed the divide and conquer strategy. Exactly what the people are doing today. Exactly how America took over the land with the Native Americans, divide and conquer. You know, the Native Americans, they're always at war with each other with their little tribes and shit. But had all of the Native Americans banded together, understood that their fucking land was under siege by white European settlers. I mean, to this day, like I would bet the 13 colonies would probably still exist and the rest of it would be Native American land, probably. Yep, but the disease has ravaged the natives too. Yeah, disease killed more natives than any white man did. Yeah, there's a reason why they're not teaching history properly in school anymore. Because if you learn from your history, then you won't repeat it. And people, it's been repeated time and time again in history, the divide and conquer strategy. And that's exactly what these people are doing. White versus black, left versus right, man versus woman, trans versus sane people. It just goes on and on, you know. Welcome to the brave new fucking clown world, comrade. Yep. If there's anything old Julius Caesar taught us, it's that if mankind bands together, then you can stop an enemy horde in any way, shape, or form. Whether it be an enemy horde that you can't see in the form of some sort of woke fucking cancer that's being injected into your society, or if it's an enemy horde at your gates in the form of a fucking bunch of trampling, stampeding horses, like the Ottawa Police Department. Yep. Good thing I've got my little piece of peace of mind, I guess you could say. Just go take a walk out in the hills and just chill. You know, let the wind blow through me, smell the fucking fresh air, and just know that I have a degree of freedom that a lot of people don't get to have. And I try to enjoy it and savor it, so to speak. Yeah, I was out here a couple days ago taking a walk, and I was bending over, picking up wood and shit like that, gathering wood to go burn, make charcoal. And after I had hunched over and stood up, I don't know what the fuck happened. It was like a head rush or something, but it was like fucking. I felt like I almost passed out. Like shit almost got dark, and I kind of regained myself after the fucking all the light and blurriness went away. Like, oh shit. And then I kind of noticed like it was still. Man, I couldn't hear nothing. Not a living creature anywhere. And I couldn't even see my dog anywhere. I tried calling my dog. Dog nowhere to be found. I'm like, oh fuck. What the fuck just happened? And then I got to thinking about David Paulides missing 411. I'm like, oh shit. I better not fucking get myself missing 411 right now. Oh hell no. So what I do is I put my hand on the hilt of my gun and I start to like unbuckle it. And then the dog finally comes up. And then I kind of get my bearings a little bit and realize I probably just had a real bad head rush because I had fucking smoked a whole shitload of dope before I came out into the hills. I like to take several bong rips before I go on a walk. But yeah, I fucking made it back to the house safe. Wasn't abducted. Yeah, anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, Missing 411. It's a series of books written by a guy called David Paulides. It documents missing people that go missing under real mysterious circumstances and are more often than not never found again. But when they are found again, like usually they're dead and they're found in like real strange places and they're like missing articles of clothing and shit. And they're usually always found in areas that have been searched like previous times, multiple times. So it's like impossible to have not found the body, you know? So it's like some sort of a supernatural phenomenon, you know? And some people think, well, there's all sorts of theories behind it. You could go ahead and Google it. There's a Reddit subreddits about it, YouTube videos about it. Missing 411. It's real interesting shit because on very, very few occasions, people do return alive. More often than not, it's children too. And the tales that the children have, they're so fantastical that they're more often than not they're written off as just a child's imagination. Because these children always speak of like they talk about bear men, like gorilla men, dog men, these types of furry anthropomorphic animal type creatures that abduct them. Sometimes will take them into shelters and like take care of them, feed them berries and shit, then go take them and then drop them off. Then they're eventually found again. Then they'll tell the story about how this creature had taken them. Then nobody really believes them. Yeah, I got to thinking about that whole missing 411 phenomenon and wonder if there really is some sort of a creature-based element to it all. Could be a supernatural creature-based element too. Yeah. And then you look at some of these missing 411 cases about the children that report some of these creatures. More often than not, they talk about what they call dog men, like men with dogs' heads and shit like that, walking upright like a Bigfoot only, but with the head of a dog. And I got to thinking, you know, anybody like who's a true historian, like true historian knows that there was a race of creature, an ancient race of creature. It was called a Cynocephalus. But this creature was spoken of not just by the ancient Greek historians, but ancient Roman historians, Marco Polo. there was all sorts of different scholars and different people from different walks of life had reported on these creatures. And they were never reported on as something out of a work of fiction. You know, there wasn't like fictional works about them. They were always referred to as a real thing. These tribes of dog-headed men. Most of them were located in India, like the hills of India. And then there's a chain of islands off of the coast of India where they're also found. And they say that whenever you travel through those chain of islands, you have to pay them tribute, or else they're capable of casting spells and sinking your ships. Like that's what the legend goes. But these dogmen, like they communicate through barks and yip, yip, like yips and barks and howls. They can't speak like a human, but they can understand humans' language. And there was limited trade with some humans. This has been documented. There was trade with the King of India. And one way they would communicate is through hand signs. Like they had like hand sign language, kind of like people who are deaf. Like that's how they communicated. That means it was a smart creature. But these Cynocephali, apparently they lived twice as long as a normal human, up to 200 years. And they were so fierce they could never be defeated in war. And I guess Alexander the Great, when he tried to conquer India, he had ended up capturing about 5 of these, a small handful of them. And they were just snarling, biting, and howling, yipping the whole time. Like you can look this up. It's documented. Like all the shit I'm talking about, you can look it up. It's documented. But the church even got involved at one point, and they had philosophers debating whether or not these dogmen had souls or not. Like there's actually papers written on it. These ancient philosophers. Now one would think all of these ancient historians, philosophers, travelers from different walks of life, like from different times, they wouldn't just make something like that up just to troll us all thousands of years later, you know. This dog-headed man, the Cynocephalus, it had to have existed in one form or another. Yeah, I remember the Emperor Nero. He was a hated emperor of Rome. But one of the good things he did was he wanted to conquer Africa. So he sent a whole bunch of scouts into Africa to basically scout the whole continent. And there's this like a account of the Romans who went into Africa and scouted the place. And boy, talk about some weird fucking shit. Like there was at least 3 different races of cynocephalises that they came across. And they even came across a race of humans who subsisted upon the milk of the cynocephalus, which means there was a race of dog men like lactating for these humans and feeding them wolf milk, basically. There's had to have been some sort of trade going on, one would think. Maybe they were offering them sacrifices. But I thought that was real strange. And he also talked about one of these kings of Ethiopia was a fucking doghead. Like, there's been tales of these dog-headed men throughout history. But they're never referred to in fiction. They're always referred to as historical fucking figures and historical creatures. So when you hear these missing 411 cases and shit like that, and then you hear about a dog man taking a little girl and feeding her berries and then, you know, dropping her off again, and you have to wonder, are there pockets of these cynocephalus still alive in certain parts of the world, you know? Because what happened to them, you know? Did they all just die off? I'm thinking at some point maybe the Inquisition, like massive legions were sent against them. But if the Romans killed them or anything like that, it seems like they would have had some sort of written record, you know, a massive battle where they took on fucking hundreds of thousands of cynocephali. Because the ancient historians said that there was at least 1 to 200,000 of these creatures. Yeah, so fierce that they couldn't be bested in war, supposedly. Yeah. There was actually one case of these cynocephalises, like a story, I guess you could say. the tale of a reprobate Cynocephalus by the name of Reprobus. You see, he was like a really fierce warrior, considered one of the fiercest in the land, and he worshipped strength. Like, strength is the thing he worshipped. And what he wanted to do is he wanted to serve the strongest master in the land. So he sought out the king of the Canaanites because he was said to be the strongest in the land. But on the way there, he met a holy man who was praying. And then this holy man told him all about God and the devil. So Reprobus decided to seek out the devil and serve the devil instead of this Canaanite king, because the devil sounded like he was more powerful. So, well, there's an old saying: if you seek the devil will find you. Eventually, they met up and a deal was struck, and Reprobus entered into the fucking service of the devil, so to speak. Did many, many deeds for the devil. And one day, they're walking down the road, Reprobus and the devil, and there's a cross in the road. And the devil, he will not pass the cross. He's actually shows fear of it. And Reprobus, like I said, he worships strength. And he sees the devil is scared of this cross. So whoever represents this cross is stronger than the devil. Like, I will find who represents this cross, and I will serve him. He will be my new master. So anyway, he makes his way to a city eventually, and then he sees a church, and he remembers that holy man talking about God and the devil. So he decides to go into this church and give God a chance. The only problem is he is a beast, and he cannot speak the word of men. Therefore, he cannot pray. So the church decides to kick him out because, well, if you can't speak, well, then how you can't pray, and plus you're a beast. So they kind of saw him as a lesser than. So he was exiled from the city. And he met up with the holy man down by the river, and he explained what happened. And so the holy man says, hey, down the river there, it's really, really rough. It's kind of rapids, and it's killed quite a bit of people. What you could do is go down there to that portion of the river and help people across the river. And if the people see you helping them, and if you earn enough goodwill with the people, then maybe they will let you into their church. So Reprobus decides to follow that advice, and he goes down and, well, he starts helping people across the river. And he starts to earn a reputation. The people start looking upon him more fondly. And then anyway, a small child needs help across the river one day. And Reprobus takes the child upon his shoulders and helps him across the river. The only problem is about halfway across the river, Reprobus notices, this child is heavier than usual, and he keeps getting heavier. And I think I'm gonna fucking drown. By the time he gets to the other side, it was literally like carrying the fucking weight of the world on his shoulders. That's what it felt like. And he told that child, damn, kid, like, you were so fucking heavy, it felt like you were carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. And the child said, that's because I was. The reason I was so heavy is because I was carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. You want to know who that child was? That child was none other than Jesus Christ himself. And thus, Reprobus from that day forward became known as the Christ bearer, because he buried him across the river, the Christ bearer, also known as Christopher. Anyway, after a time, Reprobus, or Christopher, as his new name was, again, he gained sainthood. He became known as Saint Christopher. And eventually a day came, years later, he was martyred by the Romans, and they cut his head off. That's probably what the Romans did to those dog-headed people. They cut their heads off. But yeah, that is the tale of Saint Christopher from the Bible. One of the few tales of Cynocephali that can be found. Now, a lot of the people say that, that shit ain't real, it's legend or whatever, but those Christians, what they did was they changed Saint Christopher from the face of a dog to the face of a man. They completely redacted the Bible and changed it because they wanted to erase the Cynocephali from history books, is what they wanted to do. Yeah, all of the history and legend and lore points to this dog-headed saint, Saint Christopher, because in all of the old depictions of him, he has the head of a dog. He is one of those Cynocephali. He actually came from the land of Canaan. And when you really look at what the Canaanites are, like they were supposedly giants. These Cynocephali are like at least 7 feet tall, supposedly. The ancient giants that they referred to in the Bible or whatever were probably these dog-headed men. And they talk about to Goliath how he was part Canaanite or whatever. Jack Stafford, all of what Big Daddy says is fact. Yes, I speak the truth. Yeah, I can spin a yarn sometimes, but it's mostly truth. Well, it's from what is written, you know. But yeah, that just goes to show if that shit was just fake or whatever, why did the Christians try to redact it? Why did the church all of a sudden in later depictions of Saint Christopher have a human head on him? Yeah, don't make no sense. They tried to erase the Cynocephali from history is what they tried to do. The bottom line is these dog-headed men, they may still exist to this day in certain pockets of the world. Yep. Looks like I had somebody in the back room. Oh, wait a minute. Yep. Oh no, the guests are gone. Yeah, if those guests come back, I'll be able to play a little something for you guys that I found. You might enjoy it. But
Woof, woof.
hello. All right, we got
Share my screen.
all right.
Woof.
Let me see.
I got this sick. Werewolf shit.
All right.
You gotta share my screen.
It's been so long since I've done this. Where the hell is the share screen? All right, I'll figure it out here in a second. Yeah, there's some footage of a dog man I want to show you guys. But I'm trying to figure out how to.
About this historical dog man.
Oh wait, is this what we got here?
There we go.
Oh, okay, there we go. You guys see that shit? Yeah, it's a dog man in Iran. Somebody killed that fuck. Whether or not it's real, I don't know. It's pretty scary. Whoever made it should be working for Hollywood. Yeah. Thanks for bearing with me, folks. Yeah, we all saw that fucker. Thank you, Ghost. Thank you very much. Yeah, I hope that came through to you guys. If you guys were capable of seeing that that dead werewolf, go ahead and let me know in the chat. 'Cause if not, I'll throw it back up. But it looked like I was capable of throwing it up there and playing it for you guys. Yeah, that fucking thing. Typed Cynocephalus into the goddamn YouTube search engine, and that fucking thing popped up. I'm like, what the fuck? Some Iranian kid put a fucking AK round into it. He probably dumped a fucking clip of AK rounds into that sumbitch. Put down a fucking dog, man. Yeah, that fucking thing's pretty scary. Yeah, I'll probably put a link to that little clip in the description of the video after it's all said and done, if anybody wanted to go back and look at it. All right. Yeah, sometimes my show fucks up whenever I play video. If you guys can hear me out there in the live chat, let me know. That way I know I'm not just speaking into the ether. Oh, damn it, tea is good. Yeah, but there is another famous case of another creature, like a wolf-like creature. You ever hear the tale of the beast of Jovedon? It's a pretty good story. Yeah, it's one of those tales of beasts killing people. Whether it was a cynocephalus or not, I don't know. There were some tales of the beast being able to walk upright and cast spells, having like glowing red eyes and shit like that. But the beast, it was first spotted in the mid 1700s, 1764, and it terrorized the countryside for about 3 fucking years over there in France, in this real rural province known as the Jovedon. And it first showed itself and tried to kill a young 14-year-old girl who was tending her cows. Now, what happened back in those times, the men, they worked the fields, and then the children and females would tend to the flocks and the cows and shit like that. And what happened was this creature, she just called it the beast, came sauntering out of the forest, and kind of had reddish fur. Said it had a black stripe on its back, kind of a light colored belly, big old giant head full of teeth, open mouth, and went right past all the cows, came sauntering up to her. But luckily, a bunch of the oxen came and like boxed her in, and like wouldn't allow the beast to get near her. And eventually the beast left. But it would claim its first victim a couple weeks later. Another young girl would be found completely tore to pieces. And then after that, it was on. The beast, what it would normally do is target the women and children that were working the fields. And one of its favorite things to do would be to bite off the face and like chew off the head and shit like that, and then just leave the body there for them to find. Now this got so bad. I mean, this beast was killing so many people that the French people were seeking help from the king. That's how bad it got. So what the king did was he put one of his best dragoon lieutenants on it and sent a legion of men to go fucking take care of the beast. Dragoon Captain Duhamel. So anyway, what this dragoon captain does is he deputizes the countryside and orders everybody to take up picks, shovels, pots and pans, and like start making noise and driving the beast to his men so he can kill him. And anybody who refused to, take up arms against the beast, they were actually thrown in jail. Like it got that bad. There was actually a famous case of this extremely pious man. It was all about God, and he loved animals. He bred his own dogs. His name was Jean Chastel, but he refused to hunt the beast, so he was actually thrown in jail. It was a famous case. But anyway, the beast was capable of slipping the lines, and then time and time again, this beast would slip Duhamel and his men. See, they went about it as they would normally hunt a beast. They had their horses and They had fucking hounds and shit, and they would, like a hunt, you know, how you hunt fox. And the beast would always seem to elude them. And Duhamel himself actually was capable of firing at the beast, and the bullets were said to have no effect on this creature. Like they would basically bounce off of it. Now, these people in this rural province, they know what wolves are. They've dealt with wolves. This creature was never once referred to as a wolf. It was always referred to as the beast. And Duhamel, the dragoon captain, said he had seen it himself, and he had swore it was some form of lion or a lion hybrid. But anyway, this creature continued terrorizing these people, continued fucking killing at will. And it got to the point where Duhamel ordered the people not to bury their dead. Whenever the beast would make a kill, he would have his men go post up on the fucking kill, wait for the beast to return. And in doing so, it kind of pissed the people off, because what they were doing was they were desecrating the bodies of their fucking relatives and shit. So what happened was many bodies were simply buried and went unreported. Many deaths went unreported because they didn't want their loved ones' bodies to be desecrated. So the official death count of the beast was somewhere around the area of 115, but some say the actual death count was somewhere in like 300 or more, possibly even 600, because it terrorized the countryside for 3 years straight. Anyway, eventually what happened was the British tabloids got a hold of this. Now, anybody knows the British tabloids knows how they can run with a story. And now this was coming off the 7 Years' War with France. And anybody who wants to know what that's all about, go watch the movie Last of the Mohicans. But yeah, in order to rub salt in the wounds of the French king, what the British tabloids would like to do is publish stories about the beast and like build up the beast's fucking lore and talk about how fucking hardcore and badass it is and how it's basically like devouring the entire French army. And it was making the French king look bad. Now, these stories, it eventually made its way overseas, and these stories were being printed in fucking New England over in America. That's how bad it got. Now, the French king decided that he needs to bring in specialists, because this captain he sent, he just fucked up. He doesn't know what he's doing. I need specialists. So what the French king does is he hires a father and son duo that specialize in killing wolves. They have 8 specially trained bloodhounds, and they between the two of them, they've killed over 1,200 wolves. So he sends these 2 specialized hunters into the Jovedon, like to take down this fucking beast. There's a huge reward for the beast once it gets killed too. So these hunters get out there and they decide to deploy different tactics. It's all about stealth. They're fucking, going about it completely different than Duhamel and his men, who have by this time returned to France completely shamed, like tails between their legs, like fucking disgraced. So the father and son duo start hunting this beast, and what happens is the same shit that happened to Duhamel happens to these guys. The beast just continues killing at will. They cannot stop it. No matter what they do, they cannot fucking capture this thing. They cannot track it down. It just fucking, it's like that. It will strike and then it's gone. And it kills shitloads more people. And the British tabloids publish more papers. And the fucking French king looks even more fucking stupid. So eventually the French king decides, like, okay, fucking, I gotta fucking do something different, because these hunters, they're just not getting it done. By this time, it's like on to the second year, into year 3, and like it's gone on too long. So this is what he does. The French king sends his personal gun bearer to go take care of the beast. Now this would be the same thing as like the president of the United States sending his chief Secret Service agent, basically, something like that. Now this gun bearer, he was a man not of nobility. He was basically a peasant class who worked his whole life to get to this point, basically. Now, Dragoon Captain Duhamel, completely disgraced. The father and son duo, I guess after that, they were completely disgraced afterwards. So he knows that if he fails in this task, like his family name is on the line. He cannot fail. So what he does is he goes out there and he's determined to kill this beast no matter what. Only problem is he can't. The beast continues to kill at will. Women, children, biting their fucking faces off. So what this guy does is he concocts a plan. He tracks down the biggest fucking wolf he can find, and he kills this wolf. Now, keep in mind, it's a much more larger than normal wolf. And then what he does is he has a taxidermist kind of stuff the wolf and like put wood inside of it and make it look much more bigger and more fiercer looking. So what he does after he kills this wolf is he takes this stuffed wolf and he goes back to France and he shows it to the King of France. He's like, voila, I've killed the beast. The problem is taken care of. And like that, problem over. French king gives him his fucking huge reward. Fucking, he gets lavished with praise as the slayer of the beast or whatever. Only problem is, the beast continues killing. Yes, it was not the real beast, of course. Because most people who've seen the beast all describe it as one way. Reddish colored fur with a black stripe running down his back with a kind of a whitish belly. That's what the beast looks like. Big old giant fucking head with an open mouth full of fucking teeth with red eyes. That's what it's usually always described as. Not a wolf. Like I said, those people know what wolves are. They would have known this thing to be a wolf. But anyway, the beast continues terrorizing the countryside. Now, I spoke earlier about the man called Jean Chastel, who was thrown in jail, the pious man who bred his own dogs, refused to hunt the beast. Well, anyway, it got to the point where the beast was terrorizing the countryside so badly that this pious man, Jean Chastel, realized, I have no choice. I must hunt this beast and kill it before it kills again. Because this beast, it is sent from the pits of hell itself. Yes, he knows that this beast cannot be killed by any normal means. No. Now here is where we get into the realm of legend. Supposedly, this is what happens. Jean Chastel takes his crucifix, made of pure silver, and he melts it down into 2 silver bullets. And he has them blessed by a priest. Now, he takes his hunting dogs and he goes out and starts hunting this beast. Anyway, one day, lo and behold, the beast comes sauntering up out of a field right towards Jean Chastel. Anyway, he takes aim with his silver bullet, shoots the beast. The beast is staggered, falls to the ground. And as it's starting to get up, he loads again, takes aim, shoots it again. Beast falls to the ground. This time it's not getting up. Then he orders his dogs to go finish it. Dogs run up, start biting fucking, and like that, the beast is dead. He goes and shows it around to people, and they're like, yep, this is the beast. Yep, that's the beast. And like that, Jean Chastel becomes a local hero, a local folk hero in that area. To this day, he has a fucking statue erected there in the fucking town square. So anyway, they take the beast on tour around France, and eventually up to the gates of the king himself. But the king of France, as far as he's concerned, this matter is settled. Like the reward's been paid. So he orders the beast buried immediately because, you got to bury the fucking truth. But yeah, that is the tale of the beasts of Jovenon. Now, after that, that is how the legend of werewolves being killed by silver bullets was born. And now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Yeah. Was that video of the dog man capable of playing earlier? Because I thought I had played it. But yeah, if anybody in the chat saw the videos of that dog man, that dead dog man, let me know. Because I tried playing it. I don't know if it had got through. But yeah, that just goes to show. Now, the Beast of Jovedon, you could look this up. Because there's documented evidence of it. They wrote fucking articles about it in old school newspapers. Crab Radio played through. Okay, cool. Yeah, we got a little visual aid tonight. Good. Yeah, but that's how legends are born. Sometimes you can cultivate a legacy for yourself, and sometimes you can cultivate a legend for yourself. Yeah, we're living in the times of legend. Yeah, we can either roll over and allow ourselves to be divided and conquered and defeated, or we can band together and become men of legend. Yes. That's the key there. Sow the seeds of strength into our souls. Live a life according to the doctrines of strength, peace, love, and common sense. Reject the doctrines of ignorance, weakness, and hate. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. And if you're going to be worshiping any entities or deities, if you're going to be any sort of a religious person, just worship the one true God and operate under the golden rule. Do unto others as thou would have done unto you. Everything else is window dressing. Yep. Jack Stafford, this was just like a story around a campfire. Ever consider letting people hire you to tell these things during prairie excursions? Huh. No, but I did think about opening up my place as an ayahuasca retreat. If I can sit around the campfire, take some ayahuasca, and tell some stories, that'd be something. Go commune with the fractal elves. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good tea. Well, we've ranted and raved. Yeah, we've about gone the limit. Maybe we'll go ahead and close the show out. Sing a song or two. Ah, yeah. Oh. Stretch my damn leg a little bit. Got a little cramp going. Oh, yeah. Excursions in New Mexico and Kansas. We're missing a certain something. Yeah, I love flyover country. The east and west coast of America is just too damn leftist. Well, I wouldn't say that much, because you look at a state like California, besides the cities, like California is a red state, believe it or not. Like I used to live in California. I've probably count on one hand how many liberals I've ever met in my life living out there. Yes, they live in the cities on the fucking. Well, if you look at it on a county by county basis, look at the United States of America. It looks like a heart with cancer, like a red beating heart, but you see the blue, like it's just pockmarked here and there. It's like cancer, and it's all in the cities, big old major cities where they have institutionalized corruption over everything. The places where all of the graveyards habitually fucking, well, you know what I mean. Dead people are part of the Democrat voting base. Just the way it's always been. Well, I'd like to thank you guys for coming out. Maybe I'll sing a song or two. Yeah, sometimes when we're trying to put shit together, got to be a little patient. Because, well, I was once told that I have the patience of Job. Patience is a virtue. Make no mistake. Because a patient man is rewarded in the end. You shed a tear 'cause I'm missing you, but I'm still alright to smile. Girl, I think about you every day now. There was a time when I wasn't sure, but you set my mind at ease. There is no doubt that you're in my heart now. Said, oh, man, take it slow, it'll work itself out fine. All we need is just a little patience. Said, sugar, take it slow, we'll come together fine. All we need is just a little patience. Sitting here upon the stairs, 'cause I'd rather be alone. If I can have you right now, I'll wait, dear. Sometimes I get so intense, though I can't speed up the time. We spoke of was and we spoke of when. You know that things will turn out right. Said, oh, man, take it slow, it'll work itself out fine. All we need is just a little patience. Said, sugar, take it slow, we'll come together fine. And all we need is just a little patience. Patience. Yeah. Just a little patience. Yeah. Just a little patience. Yeah. Just a little patience. Just a little patience. The Guns N' Roses classic, Big Daddy version. Oh yeah. Maybe we'll sing another one. We'll close the stream out. Oh yeah. Yep. Big Daddy is a man who knows what is best in life. You crush and miss well, feeling my soul a spark. Brush death with these well, dancing with them devil in the dark. I get up in the evening, and I ain't got nothing left to say. I come home in the morning, I go to bed feeling the same way. I ain't nothing but tired. You're a liar and I am bored with myself. And hey there, baby, I could use just a little help. You can't stop the fire. You can't start a fire without a spark, and this gun's for hire. even if we're just dancing in the dark. Messages keep getting clearer. Radio's on and I'm moving around the place. I check my look in the mirror. I wanna change in my hair, my clothes, and my face. Man, I ain't getting nowhere. Just living in a dump like this. There's something happening somewhere. Baby, I just know that there is. You can't stop the fire. You can't start a fire without a spark, and this gun's for hire. Even if we're just dancing in the dark, dancing in the dark. You sit around getting older. There's a joke here somewhere, and it's on me. I'll shake this world off my shoulders, and then I'll ride on down the fucking street. You can't stop the fire. You can't start a fire without a spark, and this gun's for hire. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. Dancing in the dark. Thanks for coming out, y'all.